Hey guys, what's going on? I'm that guy Dan96. Welcome back to Prepared. This afternoon we find ourselves at Houston's Hobby Airport. We're getting ready to head on down to San Jose, Costa Rica, Southwest Airlines Flight 112. For those of you that have noticed, this is part 1. I have not chopped up any of my videos before, but I'm going to try something here. This is going to be at least a test drive of a new series I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. But it's essentially going to be more of an operational series in terms of you are going to see me doing much more of like pre-flight FMS work. We're about to hit a tail there. Oh, there it goes. You're about to see me do more like FMS work and kind of stuff like that, and really get in depth with the 737, especially flying for Southwest, because that's my primary. That's what I do, and I'm not recording other flights. So it's going to be very much an in-depth video, and to make it so the video is not an hour and 10 minutes or whatever it's going to end up being, I'm going to make it a 2-part video. So this will be part 1 is going to be the departure and most of the climb out, and then we'll do part 2, which will be the arrival into San Jose, Costa Rica. So hopefully you guys enjoy the new format. Let me know what you think about it, and we'll get into it. So let's hop in the flight deck. Okay, we're in the flight deck of November 7724 Alpha, Boeing 737-700 series. I have done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing. I've not done fuel and payload or anything like that because I want to show you guys that. So we have I have 15 minutes before departure. It took a little bit of setting up to get the video going here. So we may depart just slightly late, but that's okay. I do have to fix a couple things in this aircraft. This is an ex-airtrain aircraft, which means there has to be a couple things set up. So we need an ISFD. That's going to be the other thing I check everything. Okay, so I actually think that's pretty much all we need to do with this aircraft. Okay, so yeah, I've done absolutely nothing with this aircraft. So one of the things I'm going to do, the first thing, is we're going to get out the dispatch. I'm going to show you guys the first page of the dispatch. I can't go any further because of phone numbers and whatnot, but I'm going to show you guys the first page of the dispatch here. Let me pull that open for you guys. So here's my dispatch. So I'm going to go through and be double checking it with you guys. This is the operational flight plan I'm going to be using for this flight here. So created with PFPX, and I've done some other editing to make to get the thing on top, the header and everything like that. So let me zoom out a little bit for you guys so you guys can kind of see what's going on with the entire dispatch here. There we go. Okay, so we're departing Houston 2315Z, arriving MROC at the 0240 flight 112 7724 Alpha HOU SJO 01. There's routing, looks good to me. Cruising 370, cruise wind 249 at 60. ISO deviation is going to be 70. Fuel weight is going to be 104.9. Fuel on board is going to be 27. 132.3. Should be a takeoff weight. Planned arrival fuel is 10,000 pounds. That's because we do have an alternate of MRLB. What the hell is it? Somewhere else in Costa Rica. I forget the other. I forget. We fly there as well. So MRLB. Minimum takeoff 27.4. That correlate we've got there. Reserves today is going to be 5.4. We do have an alternate. So your reserves by default for Southwest is 5. But if you have, if for some reason the FAR reserve is more than 5, then that's what you would use. If you have an alternate, then you would do the alternate plus the FAR reserve. So we would do the alternate plus FAR reserve, so that would come out to be 5.4. So that's what we have. After removing some of the things that I just didn't want being, they could probably be there and it's fine, but it would just be better off if I just didn't have some of that on there. So, anyways, we're on our international or Southwest Airlines international document review here. So we do have our general declaration forms, 10 of them. We do have 4 print copies of final flight manifest. We have the international forms kit. Lavatory portable water has been taken care of. We do have the crew passports. That's for departing U.S. stations. Coming down here, documents left. You can see I spelled that was typed incorrectly. We do have the aircraft security form, and the signed dispatch release has been left with the gate agent. So we're good there. So everything else has been taken care of here. You can see the rest of the dispatch coming down here. This is just essentially our flight plan. And then here's ATC flight plan, everything like that. So we're good there. So we can go ahead and close out of that and go back to Flight Sim. Okay, so now that we've taken care of the flight plan here, we can go and start putting in our parameters and everything. So we're going to be 27.4 on the gas. 27,400 pounds on the gas. The payload, we're going to send it over from Top Cap. That's coming in, should be 1049, 132.3, 20.8 on the CG. Beautiful. I'm going to use Top Cat to get our performance and everything like that. So let's see, what's the current weather right now? Winds are 180, so I'm going to expect 13 right for departure, simply because it just works out better for the SID and everything. So we've got that taken care of. We are on VATSIM, however, I'm running AI traffic because without it, it would just look extremely dead. So just to kind of liven it up a little bit, I do have AI traffic running. If anybody does come on and need to talk to us, then I'll remove it simply because I don't want that conflicting with things that he's giving me. So, but for now, AI traffic is going to be on. So we've got that taken care of, so let's go ahead. Now the first thing we can do, we can just go through and start getting the aircraft ready to go. We're now going to have to do the, essentially the pre-flight of the aircraft, simply because this is a new aircraft. I flew over on a different aircraft from New Orleans. Now that we're going down to San Jose, we do a different aircraft. So we have to make sure that this aircraft is good to fly, because we've not flown on this aircraft yet today. So we're going to pop up to the overhead and get going on some of that stuff. We're just going through, doing the flows to make sure everything is working correctly. That's good. Check the cockpit voice recorder. Good. We're going to be cruising at 370. Landing elevation in San Jose is 3,050. $3,050 is good. Coming on down, this is going to be my FO's flight because I flew in here from New Orleans. There. Check, make sure date and time, everything's good there. Down. Those are both in auto. You reset. Gonna go up, check the weather radar.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Good.
TCAS test. Pass.
Now we're going to double check the EGPWS here, make sure all the sounds go off. So, the plane's going to be yelling at us, but we can pop on down to the FMS here and get going on putting our route in. So we're at Houston.
Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain.
We're flying HOU SJO 01.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear.
Flight 112.
Too low. Flaps.
Departing 13 right.
Too low. Terrain. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Minimums.
Departing 13 right on the Pecky 4.
400.
the anchor.
100.
Now we can double check everything in here. Pecky 4 anchor, Lima 208,
20.
Dunta, uniform Lima 208 to mid, uniform Bravo 753 to Belize, uniform Zulu 512 to MGA, uniform Alpha 502 to Lapo, and then from there, I'm going to expect the ILS 7 via the Parza 3 to Lapo, and I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure we can take the Parza transition there, so I'm going to double check that and we'll be right back. We can take the Parza transition for the ILS, so we'll take that. Perfect. So now we should be good, so we can activate and execute. Perf in it, we've got 27.4. Our zero fuel weight is 104.9. We've got 5.4 in the reserves due to the alternate airport. Cost index of 20. We are cruising at flight level 370. The cruise wind's 249 at 60. And we have a nice deviation of +7. Execute that. I've already run the numbers, so we're getting a selected temperature of 42. Boom. Takeoff, climb, perfect. Flaps 5. The CG's 20.8. 6 on the trim, 128, 130, 135. Now that we've got that taken care of, we can pop up to the MCP here. We're going to set 155 as our climb out speed. You can also read off to you guys the weather for Houston. So, current weather right now in Houston, as soon as my EFB will load it up for me. Oh, current weather right now in Houston, winds are 180 to 11, 10 statute miles, scattered 2,100, scattered 7,000, broken 25,000, temperature 24, dew point 19, altimeter 3,008. So we've got that taken care of there. Unfortunately, we are at gate 44. This flight actually did leave out of the international terminal, but we don't have that modeled in the AFCAD. This is the best AFCAD I could possibly... I actually did some alterations to it, so you'll see some stuff that, you know, I have approach lights from St. Louis in here to make it look more legit. I have the wig-wag lights that Flightbeam uses by every runway to just enhance the scenery per se, so... That's what we've got going on. Anywho, we can start the APU now. The APU is going to be coming alive here. Let me double check to make sure EGT is rising. There's a low oil pressure light. EGT should be popping in here in just a second. There she goes. And now we can go ahead and do the before start originating checklist. Before start originating checklist, logbook aboard. Landing your pins 3 aboard. Fire warning and overheat test is checked. Start levers cut off. Temperature cutout switch is normal. Light test is checked. FMC programmed. Briefings completed. Oxymask and quantities are checked. ECs are on. Navigation switch is normal. Display switch is auto and normal. Fuel is going to be 27,400 pounds, cleared with 27,400 pounds. Center pumps are on. Passenger signs are on. Window heat on. Hydraulic pumps ASOF is on. Pressurization is set auto. Auto throttles are off. Flight instruments are 3008 cross-checked. Auto brakes are RTO. Takeoff warning horn is checked. Parking brakes are set, and the aileron and rudder trim is centered. Before start checklist is complete. Before we came back, I just turned on some cockpit lighting. We can go ahead and start the APU. APU's been running for more than 1 minute. We can go ahead and turn on the bleed air. Open up the isolation valve. We can go ahead and turn on all the fuel pumps. Start sequence today is going to be the right ignition first, so we're good there. Go ahead, pop on the compass light. And shut the doors, disconnect the jetway, and we'll be on our way out of here. GSX is on its way over, so we can go ahead and do the before push checklist. Before push checklist, zero fuel weight is going to be 104.9. Set takeoff weight is going to be 132.3. Cross check. Then ones are going to be 93.2. 93.2 reduced set. Minimum cleanup altitude is going to be 1,000 feet set. Plan flaps OPC 5, CDU 5. V-speed's going to be 128, 130, 135 set. Stab trim is going to be 6 set. Flight deck door, lights out. Before push checklist is complete. We can go ahead and put that away. We can set runway heading of 131 in the heading bug. There we go, 131 is set. No ATC online, so we can just put this up to like 10,000, I guess. Parking brakes are released. And go ahead, turn on the anti-collision light, and start the first officer's clock. Go ahead, start number 2. Starting number 1. Sorry about the cut there. I just wanted to make sure my audio and everything was correct, and it cut out the sim sound and the sim pause for a second. It looked kind of goofy, so I just go ahead and cut that from the video. But anyways, number 2 is started. We go ahead and start number 1 now. N2 is coming up at 25% N2. We'll go ahead and introduce fuel into the engine. 22, 23, 4, and 5. Flip the starter. It's on idle now. You can see EGT is rising, N1 is rising, N2 is coming up. Parking brakes are set. At 56% N2, the starter is going to cut out. You'll hear it kind of auto go back to off. And then we're going to wait for the EGT. It's going to go up and it's going to peak, and then it's going to start going backwards. When it starts going back, there's the cutout. When it starts coming back, I will call rollback. Rollback. You saw it went up to like 425, and now it's on its way back down. So go ahead, flip that to continuous. Starter goes back to ignition left. Flaps go to 5. Gens can come on. Probeat on. All the hydraulic pumps are on. Auto, auto, auto. Recirc fan goes auto. Bleed off. Everything's good there. We can go ahead, kill the APU. And then we'll put on the lights as soon as these guys are out of the way. We don't want to blind them. You can see there's aircraft landing on runway 4. They use both 4 and 13 right in Houston, so. Alright, he's good to go. We can go ahead and flip on the lights. Also go ahead and turn on the transponder. It's on TARA. Go ahead and do a flight control check. Let's check it from the wing. It always looks cool when you can see the spoilers and everything. Flight controls are checked. Everything works, so let's head on over to runway 13 right. Taxiing over to 13 right via Yankee and Echo. With no ATC online, we will assume that we are cleared for takeoff on runway 13. We are going to roll right after. You can see there's an aircraft looking like it's departing runway 4. So as soon as he's crossed, we'll go ahead and let's line up and wait. We'll say that for now. Okay, so we're going to be lining up and waiting here. We got to scoot up a little bit so we are on the runway here and we're not still on the taxiway back there. So we can go ahead and stop right about here, and we're going to wait for this aircraft here to depart, and as soon as he crosses our runway, we're going to roll, so we can get rocking and rolling. Let's see, who is that? I think that's JetBlue behind him. Blue A320. Or no, is that an E1? Yeah, it's an E1. E190. Looks like an A320 from the side. And he's rolling, so we're pretty much ready to get out of here. Again, as soon as he crosses the runway, we will begin our takeoff roll. Set takeoff thrust. Auto throttle is on. Start our clock. Moving up 40% to N1. As soon as it's stabilized, we'll go ahead and select Toga. Toga. Here we go. Thrust is set. $80 knots.
V1. Rotate. V2.
You're up. Getting a little bit of aileron into the wind here. The wind is off our right, so we can go ahead and go LNAV. 400 feet LNAV comes on. VNAV will go on at 1,000 feet. There's 1,000. VNAV is on. We're now accelerating up. We can go flaps up. Orbx off. Landing gear off. Retractable lights can go off. Now speeding up, we will assume we are cleared direct to Pecky. And now we're going to be pretty much hand flying. I do enjoy hand flying this aircraft. When you get it trimmed out, it flies really nice. It's one of those aircraft that you really don't have to, once you get it kind of trimmed, you really don't have to mess with it too much. It's pretty nice. Nice thing about this SID, there are no altitude restrictions, so we can just climb pretty much unrestricted up to our cruising altitude. Let's go ahead and set this altitude a little bit higher. It's also getting a little choppy. We may actually turn on the autopilot simply because of it being so choppy. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the autopilot on just because it's so choppy. Again, as much as I enjoy hand flying, I don't enjoy that. So, Command B is on. We departed 2327Z. And we're on our way out of here. We'll wait through 10,000 feet here, and then we can do the climb checklist. But let's get a nice wing view here. Hope you all enjoyed the wing view there. I certainly did. Beautiful lighting. I'm going to get some outside shots too. So this video is going to cut. I'm going to get some outside shots, and then it's pretty much going to cut, and then we'll come back to the arrival into San Jose. Again, video's a little bit, well, the video itself is not longer than any others. That's because I've cut it. If I were to do actually both parts, it would be an extremely long video. So there's 10,000 feet. Climb checklist, pressurization check. Start switch is off, APU is off. Climb checklist is complete. At Southwest, we do keep everything, all the lights on until 18,000 feet. The only thing we turn off are the retractable lights, simply because the max airspeed on those are 250 knots. So that's also why I put them up so early. That way, if for some reason we do break 250 knots below 10,000, I'm also not exceeding the structural limit of those lights. So I turn them off immediately. Once I get the gear off, and the auto brakes off, landing lights come off too. Just part of the flow that I like doing. We're now climbed up to 289 knots, passing through 11.6. And beautiful evening. Great departure out of Houston. Really enjoyed it. And it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Envtex and Active Sky Cloud Art, Active Sky 16. Just a great combo for flights, and definitely recommend getting all three of those products and running them together, because when you run them together, they just look absolutely spectacular. 18,000 feet. 2992 is set. Go ahead, kill the lights. Perfect. The pressurization is still looking good, and everything up here is good. Generators, everything's still running the way it's supposed to, so. Great, beautiful evening. We've just leveled off at 37,000 feet. The fasten seatbelt sign has just been turned off. The only reason you didn't see that is because I messed up talking in the last clip there. So, we're on our way down right now to San Jose, Costa Rica. It should be about a 2-hour cruise-ish, kind of. Depends on how the winds work for us. But 2.5 hours on our way down to San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm going to leave you guys now with a couple shots of the airplane flying outside and getting some cool panoramics. Nothing as long as my usual videos. And I will see you guys in part 2 when we're on our way down to San Jose, Costa Rica.